Hello, everyone. Welcome to your Algebra 1 lesson on perfect squares. Today, we're going to be looking at operations with perfect squares. This is a short lesson just to get you prepared for your activity for the week. So, to get us going, some definitions that you should know. Maybe you need to write these down, take a picture of it with your phone. Square root, radical sign, a radicand, a radical, and rationalizing the denominator. Rationalizing the denominator, we're not going to really touch on that. However, it is good to know. Like I said, please write this down. Pause the video if you need to, and come back to it if you need to as well. Okay? So just to refresh our thoughts here, when we talk about a perfect square, we're talking about when we multiply a number by itself twice. So 1 squared is actually 1 times 1, and 1 times 1 is 1. So we have that. And if you continue with these are really good to know. These you should know like up top of your head. So 2 times 2, 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16. 5 squared is 25, 6 squared is 36, 7 squared is 49, 8 squared is 64, 9 squared is 81, 10 squared 100. If you keep it going, they will all be there for you. Once again, pause the video, take pictures so you can have this. This is important information, not just for middle school, but it will take you into high school as well. These are all perfect squares. When you take the number and you multiply it by itself, and you get a product, and that product is a perfect square. Okay. So understanding square roots and squaring a number. So the opposite of squaring a number is square rooting the number. So the opposite of x squared is the square root of x. What do I mean by that? Well, to undo one, you must use the opposite. To undo one, you must use the other. So an example we have here is 7 squared equals 49. 7 times 7 is 49. However, we also know 7 times positive 7 times positive 7 is 49, or negative 7 times negative 7 is 49. Why negative 7? Because negative 7 times negative 7 is 49. And positive 7 times positive 7 is 49. So what does that mean? That means the square root of 49 is actually negative or positive 7. This notation here is very important. Okay, so some examples here. The square root of 4 is 2, negative or positive 2. Okay. The square root of 100, the square root of 49 is negative or positive 7. 10 squared is only 100. When you multiply 10 by itself twice, it's 100. 8 squared is 64. Okay? Now, let's put this into play in what it looks like when you put all of this information together. Well, I put up 3 examples to show you. Okay, the first example says x plus 5 squared equals 49. Well, I know this first thing that some of you guys will probably want to do is x squared plus 25 equals 49. Okay, then if you do that, then you got to subtract 25 from each. 49 minus 25. If you look at that, you have 24, and this x squared and the square root of 24. That is not actually the proper way to do that problem. So please, this is not correct. Do not do this. Okay, this is not correct. However, the correct way to do this problem would be x plus 5. Once again, to undo your exponent, which is squared, Opposite of squared is the square root. So now you're going to have to square root your 49. And that eliminates your square. So x plus 5, and the square root of 49 is plus or minus 7. And now, here's where this plus or minus is very important. Because this is a quadratic, you have two responses or two x's, okay? So here you're going to have minus 5 here, and here you're going to have minus 5. Exactly. That is right. However, you're going to have x equals positive 7 minus 5, which will give you one of the x's, and the other x would equal negative 7 minus 5. The positive 7 and the negative 7. And that's how you get your two numbers. So here we know that x can be 2. And here we know that x can be negative 12. Now, I don't know about you, but this makes a whole lot more sense. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so once again, you have x plus 7. To undo squared, you just square root your opposite side of the equal sign. And x plus 7 equals, the square root of 64 is 8. Plus or minus 8. And then you will subtract 7 from 8. Now you got to rewrite it to say x equals positive 8 minus 7, or x can equal negative 8 minus 7. And so here you would have 1, and here you would have negative 15. All right? So x is two numbers. So x equals 1 and x equals negative 15. And here we have x minus 3 equals the square root of 144. Okay. X minus 3 equals plus or minus 12. Add 3 on each side. You have x equals 12 plus 3, or x equals negative 12 plus 3. Here you would have 15, and here you would have negative 9. And there you go. That is the lesson for this. That is the instruction for this lesson. If you have any questions, please come see me on my Zooms. I am available at 10:30 and 1:30 every day. And I hope you guys have a great one. And I look forward to seeing your progress in class.